Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Jared Powley's Fragrance Reviews. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at a somewhat obscure fragrance from the house of Jordache. This is known as Jordache Stone, which is an EDT eau de toilette concentration. This is classified as a woody aromatic scent, but I do not know the date of when this fragrance originated. So this scent here, I absolutely love the scent profile, but it has poor performance. So as a whole, the House of Jordache is a fairly famous apparel house which started in the United States around 1969, and they're famous for their jeans. Their jeans were in particular very popular throughout the 70s and 80s, and which was the zenith for the House of Jordache. They are still manufacturing clothes, but their popularity has declined dramatically. Their first fragrances came out around 1982, 1983, and the men's fragrance, the original, has a definite masculine, heavy powerhouse 80s vibe. They have several current offerings for both men and women. This fragrance in particular is a very inexpensive fragrance, but it is not a cheap fragrance. There is a difference. So for me, this fragrance, the prominent note in this fragrance is eucalyptus. So I'm going to give it a spray on the back of my hand. So initially you get this gorgeous kind of minty, fizzy citrus, which is a little bit sweet, a little bit spicy, but in a sweet type of spice, and it's fresh and clean. As it starts to dry down, you get a little bit of this evergreen pineness. It loses some of the fizz, loses some of the pop. The sweetness starts to smooth out almost into a creaminess, or even I would say a fruitiness. Later on, and this is the disappointment, there really isn't much of a late dry down because the fragrance turns into a skin scent. So it disappears into kind of like a soft, creamy woodiness. So this is a fragrance you're definitely going to have to reapply. I don't think you have to over-apply, and I've never been much of a believer in over-applying a fragrance because it just leads to saturation and you waste the fragrance. I think if a fragrance has poor performance, 2 or 3 sprays is more than enough, and then reapply it as you need. The notes for this, as advertised, are juniper, eucalyptus, cedar leaf, jasmine, pepper, cinnamon bark, amber, patchouli, and sandalwood. So the performance on this, as I mentioned earlier, is poor. Maybe an hour you're going to get, then it turns into a skin scent, but you can remedy this situation and the longevity by spraying it on your clothes, which definitely helps because it will stay on the clothes for a longer period of time. But in that first half hour, 45 minutes, it is a fantastic fragrance. At work, I sprayed this on several people. They absolutely loved it, both men and women. So I know a lot of women I know and I work with, they like to wear fragrances. They're somewhat unisex or even can tend to have a little bit of a masculine leaning. And some ladies simply do not like overly sweet fragrances because they find them obnoxious. So this fragrance here, final thoughts on this. It's very inexpensive. And like I said, I love the scent profile, but I do not love the performance. So this is something that should be readily available depending on where you are. I actually found this at just kind of a second-hand store. I had never seen it before, but I did remember the Jordache jeans. I did remember the Jordache commercials, which are actually quite unique. So you may be able to try before you buy. If not, if you like a eucalyptus kind of fresh smell that maybe, I think this is best for you're just coming out of the gym or you're just need a little pick-me-up at the end of a day or something in the evening to relax to. This can give you a very pleasant smelling experience for maybe a half hour or 45 minutes, but do not expect much from the performance in this fragrance. So if you like this video, hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. Any comments or questions you have on this very nice fragrance from the House of Jordache, leave them down below, and I'll always get back to you. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.